Volume 9 had an epilogue. I already reacted to the epilogue on my stream, but I figured I could make this video in case you didn't want to watch the whole live reaction, give you a more put together
Oh,
review. Oh, hold on.
no, I saw the. Oh, this was a whole. This was the whole. Okay, yeah, that wasn't the whole thing. Okay, that wasn't the whole thing. I watched the whole. I watched the whole thing on my own time, for sure. Cause this is on This is on the Rooster Teeth channel. This is on the Rooster Teeth website. So I watch on my own time. Cause the one I watched on Celtic Phoenix's stream was not the one I just watched. It was the full one. That's why it seemed like it's the discombobulated, because it wasn't the full thing. I watched the full thing on my own time, or maybe I'll watch it, like I'll do like a video, put on YouTube, react to it, and then next stream. But yeah,
I've prepared for this moment. OMG, guys. This is so sad. Oh my god. Is this the... I'll use this for my thumbnail. This shot of me looking sad and crying. Because OMG, it's so sad, isn't it? If you didn't know about this epilogue, well, I can't say I'm surprised. Rooster Teeth has seemingly given up on promoting their shows entirely, even long before.
yeah, even cause I'm gonna say right now, Rooster Teeth. Obviously, you guys didn't know Rooster Teeth is done. They're pretty much done. But yeah, um, Rooster Teeth has an issue of promoting shows, because like when I went on, because this happened when I was watching Volume 7, right? So when back then, um a, a lot of time I was getting used to watching Ruby on YouTube, because they will often release it on YouTube. But the issue was for Volume 7, if I'm correct, they released it on their own website. It was only on their website only. So obviously, I was like, what? When did Volume 7 come out? I have no clue when Volume 7 come out. I think it was like, what? When did Ruby Volume 7 come out? Because I don't remember when it came out. 2019. Okay, yeah, I was 15. Yeah, I was 15. So I was literally 15 in high school, literally like trying. I obviously I didn't know much about the. I tried looking at the other websites. Obviously, I did the One Piece route and looked at the other websites, and they didn't have it. So I'm like, okay, then I'll just go the official way and watch Ruby on Rooster Teeth. The issue was Volume 7 at that time was only on Rooster Teeth, like the full thing properly. If I wanted to watch the full thing, like, in its own properly, I had to go on Rooster Teeth. And I remember when I went on Rooster Teeth, there were like so many like different shows that they had that I had never heard of, because they don't promote anything else but Ruby. And now obviously now they pretty much gave up, since Rooster Teeth is closed down. They pretty much gave up on freaking promoting the epilogue. So
The company was announced to be shutting down. Their Rooster Teeth Twitter was labeled inactive months ago. The RWBY Twitter is struggling to stay relevant, and most updates about RWBY come primarily from the personal Twitter pages from Eddie and Carrie, which, you know, not a great place to be the only source of upcoming information. Your YouTube channel has millions of subscribers, and
yeah, but okay, that's true. They do have millions of subscribers, but don't forget, not every subscriber's gonna watch their video. Cause I saw some of their videos and saw the recent views, and they barely crack 5,000. They barely crack 10,000. It Rooster Teeth. It doesn't matter how much subscribers you have. You can still fall off, right? The only ones that got recently, like obviously the camp episodes, all that stuff, got recently much more real, are much more like obviously, since Rooster Teeth is closed down, the much more recent videos are now getting much more popular. But back then, go to like the RT podcast, they're not cracking. They barely cracking like 10,000 views. So I'm subscribed to a guy named T Pendle, right? He has millions of subscribers, but this man can barely crack down 2,000 views. The amount of subscribers don't really correlate too much, man. Like look at T Pendle's recent video. It only has 5K views, but he has 2.44 million subscribers. subscribers don't really equal to. You can't have a lot of subscribers doesn't mean you're gonna have a lot of views always. You know. Let's go to like someone named Run JD Run. He has over half a million subscribers, but he's barely cracking. His recent videos barely crack 1,000 views. So it doesn't really matter how much subscribers you have. You can still have little to no viewers. You know,
Announce on your channel that Volume 9 is
like
airing
for example, I'm subscribed to Rooster Teeth, obviously because of RWBY, but I completely forgot about them. I don't really watch their videos anymore.
on the Rooster Teeth site. Whatever, the company's dead anyways, it's far too late for them now. Originally, the epilogue was going to be hidden behind a paywall, but I suppose they realized not a lot of people are going to be willing to fork over money for a dead company just to watch an animatic, so they changed it right at the last second. Ooh, we just found out about this.
Sure.
So the actual animatic itself, much like the rest of Volume 9, it's incredibly meh. It's just a bit drawn out and boring, trying very hard to be dramatic and whatever, but also, it's far from being the worst thing Rooster Teeth has crapped out for this.
Yeah, it's not the worst. It's not the worst thing that I've seen. I'll watch I kind of watched the full thing because I watched a reaction to it because Celtic Phoenix, you know the guy who does Fixing RWBY. If you're not in RWBY fandom, you would. If you're in the RWBY fandom, you do know, or not you should know, but you probably do know what Fixing RWBY is. And what they did is that he brought Judgmental Critter, Kaiser Shonen, Twilight Princess, and a guy named Fat Man something. I forgot the full name of his freaking channel. Wait, I think I chose it up for Fat Man Falling. So basically, it was Celtic, Fat Man Falling, Kaiser, Judgmental Critter, and Twilight Princess. They were reacting to the epilogue, and that's how I know about the epilogue because they reacted to it. So again, I'll watch on my own time and form my own opinion later on. But from what I've heard from them, it's kind of mixed, kind of like the rest of RWBY.
It's just
so
aggressively mid. The animatic focuses on our main characters monologuing to themselves about how they're holding up after the fall of Atlas. Nora's feeling big sads. Oscar's missing Ruby.
If there was anything I wish I could borrow from you, Ruby, it would be your certainty.
Ren's missing Jean.
I never realized how much you did to hold us together.
Winter's missing Weiss.
You were the true heir to the Schnee name.
And Crow's actually in a really chipper mood.
Call me crazy, but I'm actually feeling a little optimistic about things.
I don't like the fact that the memorial is so far. Why is the memorial outskirts of the city? Why not put it in the center of like a district or some shit, so then people can come and see it without having risk their lives. Oh yeah, Inkstone. I had to go back on Inkstone because I'm basically out of my hiatus. Yeah, I'm not in hiatus anymore. So it's Sunday, April 7th. So let me change it to serialization. So I'm not on hiatus anymore. I was on hiatus for like 2 weeks. But nope, I'm not on hiatus anymore. So where is it? Back to update settings because we are back to serializing. Alright, let's go back. Let's continue this.
Aw man, my two nieces are presumably dead. I'm feeling good. Let's have a party. We start with Nora, where we see the team actually fight their way out of that sandstorm from last time. All it is Winter yells a bit, and then it just all suddenly stops. And they're literally, like, right next to Vacuo. Cool, we'll just take that conflict and get rid of it right away. No one watches stories to watch our heroes come up with cool and interesting plans to solve their conflicts. They like it when stories just solve things instantly, without any input.
Oh, I hate that. I would have liked it so much better if they were legit in the middle of nowhere and they would actually have to struggle, like, how to get through, how to get hold way again while trying to struggle to survive. I would have loved to see, like, at least half of Volume 10 be like that. But you know what? Whatever. They want to go right into Vacuo? Cool. That's okay.
Or effort.
I would have definitely...
Oh yeah. All of Team Coffee shows up, but then only Sun and Neptune showed up out of Team Sun, even all the way to the show's death. RWBY can't be bothered to include the gay man or the black man in their content. What kind of Grimm do you expect to find in the desert setting? Like the most basic, boring
Shit, I want to see some sandworms, like some dune shit, some underground Grimm sandworms. That would be fire. I better if RWBY gets a volume 10, I better see some Grimm sandworms, bro. Some sandworm Grimm. I will be angry if I don't see any, like, cause you know there's some Grimm that have in the ocean, some Grimm that can go in the air. I better see some sandworm Grimm. I better see some right now.
First idea of a Grimm. That's right.
Grimm attacked the city for days.
Oh shit, there is a sandworm Grimm. Okay, I'm sorry, RWBY. I'm sorry, I apologize. My bad. I guess I didn't pay attention too much to the animatic, because I remember they did talk about the sandworm in the live stream. My bad.
Sandworms, like Dune, or Tremors, or everything ever, because Rooster Teeth hasn't had a single original idea in years.
Okay, fun fact, I guess you kind of include me into that group because for my fanfic, so basically in the future, this is not far into the future, but this is basically the next arc. Spoiler alert. In the next arc of my fanfic, the main cast will be going into into like the Middle East. And originally I had like one of the monsters being a sandworm. Now I may be uncreative as fuck, but sandworms always hit, homie. But I do have other monsters that do inhabit the sand, so don't worry, it won't be only it won't be sandworms in there. There'll be other monsters that inhabit in the sand.
Hey, are you ready? Guess who the bad guy
Yeah, so basically, yes, if you didn't know, Arc 2 is going to be in the Middle East. That's it. That's all I'm going to tell you.
are?
I'm not going to tell you all the plot and stuff like that. So.
All of the people of Vacuo. It's understandable they'd be upset or overwhelmed with an entire continent's worth of people suddenly dumped on their doorstep, but nope, they're all exclusively painted as bad. And you want to know how they do this? By literally having Vacuo civilians throwing rocks at children from Atlas. But not only is it just children, they're orphans.
The last thing we need is a kingdom of orphans. The world doesn't revolve around Atlas.
What's wrong with orphans?
This is like
Oh
one
yeah,
of the
I forgot because Nora was an orphan. If I'm correct, I think Nora was an orphan.
dumbest things I've ever heard. And we just had Blake's cat thing from last volume too.
You could just be human. Or just a cat.
What's worse, they don't even give an explanation as to why they're mad at this little child orphan. They just say, we have our own problems. Like, yeah, but be
Too bad that we don't know anything about Vacuo's problems to understand why they're acting like this.
specific. I think most people would be on your side that suddenly being faced with thousands of refugees would put a strain on anyone. That's a lot of resources, space, etc. But don't just say, we have our own problems.
Yes, yeah, exactly. How about you actually? That would have been better if you understand more of Vacuo. What the fuck is Vacuo? Again, that's probably be fleshed out in Volume 10, if Volume 10 even gets released. But to say that, my personal opinion, I do think someone's gonna pick up RWBY for sure, because despite the mixed reception it gets, it is still popular and there is still a fandom to this day. So I do believe that someone will pick up RWBY. For who or what company will be, we don't know. We don't know who it is, but I do know for a fact that RWBY is gonna get picked up. As for the other shows like Camp and No Matter Nowhere, highly doubt it. I'm pretty sure those are pretty much gone forever. The only other show that might get picked up after RWBY is Camp or Red vs. Blue. Besides that, I don't think of any other shows that's gonna get picked up besides those three. But definitely RWBY is getting picked up for sure, because especially with the collaboration with DC Comics and Warner Bros. And all that shit and Crunchyroll, they're definitely gonna get picked up by someone for sure.
It makes me think RT was worried people would empathize with the wrong person again, because they did such a terrible job with it last time and it caused a big stink in the fandom. So now they've gone over the top, having people literally throwing things.
I don't get the throwing things. I understand. I think it would have been better if we start yelling, hey, we have our own problems here, we're suffering, all resources are being drained out right now, and now we have all the refugees, and it's too much. But I think this is definitely over the top, throwing things at kids. Like, you're definitely hitting the nail on the head here. So.
At orphan children to really hammer home that we're not supposed to agree with these people. It's just so painfully goofy.
No, this scene was necessary. This scene is not necessary. I think it would have should have been like, yo, what the fuck you guys doing here? If it was like that, yo, we have our own fucking problem. Like, damn, man. Like, just that. That's all you need. You don't need the fucking can throwing at kids. No, you don't need that to hammer on the message. You can already send a message just by doing the arguing and all that shit, and from the looks, and from like, damn, we have our own problems. Just say the offhanded comments and all the arguments for that. Don't throw the cans at kids. This scene here is completely unnecessary.
In the middle of this real refugee war survivor plot, and then here's freaking Disney villains attacking baby orphans, literally. I'm gonna put a pin in this because I want to touch on this topic more again later, specifically when we get to winter section. Just gonna put this out there. According to the ship chart, Nora x Neon is called Valkyries or Sugar Crash. Personally, I think we could come up with something a little bit better. It's Oscar's turn.
You always believed things would work out.
That's called being naive. It's not usually a positive trait.
Yeah. Have you not seen Volume 8? Those niggas were naive as fuck. And I understand that's kind of like the whole point of the character because they're teenagers, they are rookie huntsmen. I understand that. I understand that's the whole point of the character, to be naive as fuck. But the fact that the other people are like kind of agreeing with them is just that, no. You gotta be realistic here, bruh.
Ozpin has no explanation of what might have happened to you, your team, Jean.
So Oscar asks the literally ancient man who's been...
Wait, you're talking... Okay, that's also an issue too. Ozpin has been around since the beginning of humankind. Ozpin has been around. You're telling me he has legit no clue of what RWBY could be? You're telling me he has no clue what Team RWBY can be? No clue at all? That's bullshit.
Walking this world since the dawn of time for answers.
He's been walking since the dawn of time. I thought he's been walking since the dawn of mankind. He's been walking since the dawn of time. So how the fuck does he know about the ever after? Okay.
And he has none, so obviously, if that guy doesn't have the answers, surely Oscar can find more information in random history books, right?
But given Vacuo's history of colonization, its records of antiquity are even worse than most places in Remnant.
Oh no. I'm gonna put another pin in
Oh
this.
yeah, they did talk about they did also talk about the colonization too, because this comes out of nowhere.
Don't worry, we're going to get to it soon. I just want to address all of it all at once.
Oz is fighting our merger just as hard as I am.
Oh, I guess this is a thing they can fight now. 10 years into the show. 5 years with Ozpin and Oscar together. And only now are we setting up the idea that this is something they can fight off. Sure. You know, it's a real mystery why this company is getting shut down.
Everyone worries the next Grim Assault will be the last. Too many people to take care of. Too many emotions.
Wow, it's almost like it was a stupid idea to place half of the world in one singular location, in an environment that's already known for its higher Grim rates. It's almost like Ironwood planned for this, and this is why he didn't want to tell everyone in the whole world all at once. It's almost like this was a bad decision by our heroes. Oh, but the Vacuans are the ones throwing rocks at orphans. Our heroes aren't the-
This is why I fuck with Ironwood. I have never seen a nuanced situation. Because don't forget, Volume 8 had such a good potential to be so nuanced and so well done, but they fucked it up, and now it's so bad, bro. Like, despite all the criticism of RWBY, I still like RWBY and I want it to be better, right? Because I've been watching RWBY for years now. I remember the first episode I ever watched on RWBY. I was literally, I remember I was by the door of my I was living in an old apartment, right? My fam. I was like, what, 12? When did the first RWBY come out? When did the first season of RWBY come out? Because I was like, I know for a fact, Volume 1. When did it come out? Complete Volume 1, don't care. 2013. I remember that. I was like, what, 10, 11 years old. And I remember I watched it on my older brother's 3DS, because the 3DS was able to play YouTube videos. Because I had a DSi, and I couldn't play YouTube, and I didn't have YouTube videos. I remember I watched it on my brother's 3DS. I was on the floor, laying on my stomach, watching RWBY. I remember that, man. There'd be some days too where it'd be like in the nighttime. I'll watch in the middle of the night, just plugging my headphones in, watching some RWBY, and then after I catch up, I'm going to sleep. RWBY, I've watched RWBY for years now, and the fact that it fell off like this, it gets me pissed off. And the fact that for fucking Volume 8 had such good potential. I have never seen a potential nuanced situation, because this had potential to be very nuanced. Especially with okay, whose side is right? Ironwood is correct, but he's sacrificing people for the greater good, while Team RWBY wants to save all those people, but they're gonna. So it's like I don't know, man. It just had such potential to be a very good nuanced situation. To really get questioned because how far are they willing to do for the greater good. I would definitely love that, but Volume 8 fucked it up because the problem is that RWBY writers cannot do gray scenarios properly, so everything gotta be black and white for them. So instead of just trying to make it still in a gray area, because Team RWBY lied to Ironwood, that's why Ironwood doesn't trust them anymore. Understandable. Ironwood literally helped them. Yang has her right arm because of Ironwood. Ironwood gave her that arm because guess what? I think he lost an arm too, if I'm correct. He also has a robotic arm, if I'm correct. Right? So it totally makes sense for Ironwood to lose trust in them. He's like, yo, I'm helping you guys out. I'm training you guys. Your sister has a fucking arm because of me, and you're gonna lie to me and not tell me shit and betray me? Of course you're not gonna trust them. Makes total fucking sense. It's just, again, I don't. It had such a good, Volume 8 has such potential to be a very nuanced, Volume 7 and 8 has such a potential to be such a nuanced, a very thing to really think about nuances, right? And the complexity and the question that can really give you from those two volumes was actually really could have been such well done. But the issue is, they just resorted to making Ironwood a fucking stereotypical crazy villain. And speaking of it, and the reason why he went all that crazy was because of his stupid semblance. That was never explained in the series proper. That was actually, I think it was in some stupid book where they said that his semblance is metal, and his semblance is basically his stubbornness. That the more he focuses on something, the more clouded he gets by hearing other people's judgments. It's so stupid. I did not fucking like that.
The bad guys, the vacuums are. Okay, now it's Ren's turn.
How did you do it, John? How did you go from the boy at Beacon to the leader at Atlas?
While his friends fight for their lives, don't you understand?
What is the point of all of this? Will you just tell us what's going on?
All with that damn smile on your face to make you pay for what you did. Do you hear me?
I'm gonna be real with you, Ren. I don't think Jean handled much of anything well.
When you lost so much in between.
You know, you lost Pyrrha too, right? Are we just straight up admitting that
Ren, you do realize that you lost your family, and Pyrrha as well. So, you lost shit too in the meanwhile.
Ren never really cared about Pyrrha at this point? Yeah, it was hard on Jean when he lost Pyrrha. Me? No, I didn't care about that bitch. You crazy? Guess what? You have homework to do. That's right. You, the audience. This is Jax and Jillian. Do you know who they are?
Nope.
Too bad. The show's not gonna tell you. They're in a group called The Crown. Do you know what that is?
Nope.
Oh well, read the books, you loser.
Oh yeah, true that. Yeah, in order to know about the twins, you have to read the books. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I should not be reading supplementary material to learn more about the series proper. I fucking hate that. I hate that. This is one of my pet peeves about like series and shit like that, like web novels, anime, manga, whatever. I fucking hate when a character becomes important. I hate or a plotline becomes important, and in order to learn more about that character, you have to go to supplementary material. I fucking hate that. So, for example, I want to learn colonization and stuff like that because it's more realistic. Because obviously, if you looked at our history, there is obviously history of racism and colonization and PTSD stuff like that. Of course, I think that's the issue. People would I don't get this because people want escapism, but they also want realism in the stories or in their games or whatever medium they want to get the stories at. They always want that. They want a sense of escapism, but also realism. It's like, well, those are not two different things, but like I just don't get it. I don't really get it. Like, cause if you're trying to be like realistic, you're not technically escaping from reality. You're pretty much you're just seeing reality in a fictional setting. I don't know. I just don't understand that. Like, you don't have to touch sensitive topics to be a more better story. But I guess it's because it makes a story much more realistic that way. That's why people would want. That's why people will want story. That's why people want stories to have sensitive topics like colonization and racism and like the impact, the mental impact on like people who go through like gruesome things, stuff like that. I understand that, but it's just that you don't have to have that in your story, especially if you cannot write it properly.
You won't do it good. I know you won't, 'cause you never do it good. Just don't touch it. Please, for the love of God, don't do colonization. Please.
You would know what to do, sister.
I'm sorry, Winter. You're the more experienced one. I don't know. You should know what to do. You've been doing this shit for years now, homie. I don't know how Weiss has anything to tell you. I don't know what she can teach you.
Whitley, you really should cover up.
No, I won't hide forever.
No, man, like, you're the whitest kid I know. You're gonna get a sunburn. It's Crow, and
True. That is true, because why the fuck is Willow wearing a hat? Because she pale as fuck. Though the Weiss family are fucking albinos. If they know that they're gonna be cooked, literally, if in this vacuum weather.
he's surprisingly chipper about everything, which, on one hand, I'm all on board with the idea of Crow finally getting a positive development arc for his emotional well-being, but also, I don't know, this should have happened after Team RWBY comes back. He should still be mourning the loss of his two beloved nieces. Everyone else is in turmoil still, so Crow's cheerful demeanor makes him come across like he didn't even care about Yang, RWBY, or any of them. Hell, even
The only way I can see this being the only way I can oh shit, I am fucking up. Sorry. The only way that people can argue against this is that this is Crow's way of coping. But then again, that's not true because it's already established that he drinks to cope. So him having that positive outlook doesn't really make sense, because that's not how he copes with things. He drinks to cope.
Even
So
when Team RWBY
him have that sudden positive outlook doesn't really make sense.
comes waltzing back into his life, back from the dead, he has no reaction to it. No over-the-top smiles, no screams of joy, no tears of relief, just blank-faced nothingness. Maybe Crow's doped himself up on uppers to keep the Grimm away, high as a kite, living his best life.
And yet, you can still see the good in small things. All a matter of perspective.
It sure is convenient he had this monologue next to the kids who were having fun and playing. It's a good thing he didn't do this when he was around the vacuums who were pelting orphans with rocks. Then Crow might come across as a little insensitive, huh? Wow, remember her message? Ugh, let's be honest, trying to paint RWBY as this bastion of hope, this new remnant Jesus figure, is incredibly dumb on multiple levels. First, her message sucked. Her message is the thing that has thrown the world into chaos. Hey everyone, there's a super ancient, mega powerful demon witch coming to kill everyone in the most militarized country in the world. And the leader of that military is a filthy liar who can't be trusted. But maybe you all could come help us instead. Vacuo, come help the city who colonized you. Vale, apparently you're on the brink of collapse, but send all of your resources our way instead. But remember, don't panic. I'll admit, the Grimm have always been painted as chump change for the heroes. Literally, baby teenagers can kill these things en masse. But also, every time something horrible has happened to a place in Remnant, it's because of the Grimm. Beacon fell. The end of Kuroyuri. Hell, here! In this animatic, the Grimm are a problem. RWBY stapling on,
But please, try not to panic.
isn't really going to be all that helpful. Second, this is literally all RWBY's fault. She's the reason Atlas fell. She's the one who used the staff to create Penny's new body, dropping Atlas. Yeah, she also made the teleportals, but she—
Yeah, but look how poorly... I always had an issue with this shit. This shit is such poorly designed, I have no fucking clue. First of all, number one.
Also is
First
the
of all, motherfucker, why the fuck is it like this? Why is it like this? What if someone falls? And speaking of falling, I know for a fact that an explosion happened in Volume 8 where niggas fell down here. Where are these niggas? What happened to them? Did they go into Ever After? Or they're gone forever? We don't fucking know, right? And also, why aren't there like railings or like a wall to prevent them from falling down? I don't fucking get this, but no, it's like this though. Where's the railings? Where is there should be like a fucking like a platform beneath this shit, so that way if they do fall down, they don't fucking go disappear into the Ever After or disappear into nothingness. But I guess Volume 9 needed to happen. So this
one
is
who decided to dump literally everybody into one location, Vacuo, which, as we've seen, has caused constant turmoil for the refugees, the citizens, and her friends. I don't think you need a crappy mural telling people to
I don't like that. I don't
remember
like that.
her, but
looking at a Jesus, no.
by all means, the world should have no trouble remembering the harbinger of their darkest days. Oh look, Raven's here. The last time you two saw each other, you wanted to kill one another. But I guess it's all smiles now. Nothing can ruin the mood for doped up Crow. Oh yeah, and Emerald gets shafted
And it's
throughout.
gonna be also an issue too. Big issue that I want to get at too. How the fuck did Raven find the Team RWBY? When they went out the Ever After, did they just fucking teleport the fucking like to Raven's crew? I have no fucking clue. You don't have no fucking clue. We all have motherfucking clue.
This entire thing too. Great job.
Hey everyone.
So that's the Volume 9 epilogue. I know I had quite a lot of critiques about it, but honestly, this is pretty par for the course with RWBY. I'm so used to the desperately melodramatic moments being paired with the cartoonishly over-the-top scenes, so that's why in the beginning I call this whole thing mid. It's nothing new. And especially on a rewatch, it's mostly just dreadfully boring. Quite honestly, Volume 9 wasn't all that bad in comparison. Now that some time has passed and I've sat with it more, I can admit that the writing on Volume 9 was a lot tighter. It's not great, obviously, but it was tightly put together, and we don't usually see that with RWBY. And this epilogue really hammers home why. Volume 9 cut out all that with
Yeah, okay, so he did come back to Vacuo in the end of Volume 9. So where the fuck does Raven come in? What's the point of having Raven then? Why she's coming on her own? Why you had to teleport these niggas here too?
RWBY. And this epilogue really hammers home why. Volume 9 cut out all the crap that usually plagues RWBY's scripts. The convoluted plotline, the barely developed world building, the millions of side characters the writers are desperate to figure out what to do with.
Yeah, cause the issues that these niggas can't handle nuanced situations well. And Volume 8 is fucking proof of that. They cannot handle nuance at all in their stories. I don't know if Miles and Eddie, no, not Miles and Carrie. I don't know if Carrie and Eddie are like, I don't know if Miles and Carrie, whatever, they go by whatever. I don't know if RWBY are rookies at writing. I don't know if they even wrote a story before RWBY. But I can say this right now, in terms of handling nuanced situations, they cannot handle it well. And we saw that for Volume 8. And we saw that, not even just Volume 8, even way before with the racism plotline. They cannot handle racism. They cannot handle nuanced topic. They cannot handle nuanced situations or sensitive topics well. That's what I wanted to say.
Volume 9 cut out all of that and just had their weird Wonderland storyline. So no wonder it felt more tight.
I would have loved it if we got to see the destruction of Vale. If we got to see how the refugees in Vacuo, like how they felt and shit. This could have been set up in Volume 9. And then they can fix it up in Volume 10. But we have to focus on these four motherfuckers, Jean, and these two niggas getting together. And I'm talking about the two niggas in the middle, Blank and Yang. That's literally, this volume was basically for them two. I'm sorry. This volume is basically for them two. Neo is gone, she's ascended, there's hardly any villains left. The two really fucking one third of the villains are from niggas from side stories. We don't fucking know who they are. No, come on, man.
Written. And we still have no idea what's going to happen with RWBY. Yes, please, go ahead and keep on posting your millions of pointless hashtags. That's definitely going to do anything. Executives are really going to care about your hashtags on YouTube and Twitter. You're definitely gonna—
Yeah, hashtag Greenlight Volume 10. If you haven't been on Twitter and you haven't been on RWBY for Twitter, you see that you would see that a lot recently nowadays. Greenlight Volume 10, RWBY Volume 10. If you go on Twitter or YouTube, yeah, but if you go on Twitter right now and search up RWBY, you would see a lot of fan art on shit that says Greenlight Volume 10. You would see that hashtag. Trust me.
Gonna save RWBY one hashtag at a time. Wow. If RWBY gets picked up somewhere and we do get a Volume 10, I hope they scrap most of this epilogue. Truly, there's nothing really worth keeping from this mess of ideas, except for maybe Nora dating Velvet and Neon. No, I don't think we should do a colonization plotline where the colonized people are exclusively shown to be Disney levels of villainy. No, I don't think it's a good idea to wipe Vale off the map off screen and have everyone forget about Mistral and Menagerie's existence. No, Crow shouldn't be all sunshine and roses in the wake of RWBY and Yang's presumed deaths.
Okay, I also have an issue with talking about this. Here's an issue. Where the fuck's the Summer Maiden? We have the Spring Maiden, Raven. We have the Fall Maiden, Cinder, and the Winter Maiden, well, Winter. Where the fuck's the Summer Maiden? It's been literally 10 motherfucking years. We are at volume 9. We're at the end of we're going on to volume 10. If we even make it to volume 10. We're almost heading to volume 10, maybe. And we have no motherfucking clue who the Summer Maiden is, or much less where even is she? Oh my goodness, man.
No.
No clues where the Summer Maiden could be? No clues at all? No, nothing?
I don't want Ruby Rose Jesus Superstar. Jeez Louise, good riddance, Rooster Teeth.
Good Witch of Beacon and Headmaster Theodore of Shade can verify all of this.
What a wonderful kind of day.
They f***ing what? They're just saying hi to each other. Oh, they f***ing. Oh, they f***ing.
This is like joking ones, right?
Shout out to my $10.
Yeah, that's my overall thoughts on RWBY. Do I think RWBY is gonna get picked up? I think so. It's gonna take some time. I don't think Volume 10 is coming. I don't think if it does get picked up, Volume 10 is not coming out until next year, until like middle next year, like I would say like summer or like late winter. Oh no, not summer, but like summer or fall of next year, if it does get picked up. But RWBY has so much like shit to solve. It's unbelievable. They still have to figure out about the maidens, because we don't know. We only see 3 of them. The Summer Maiden is not mentioned, not even like talked about at all. Summer Maiden is pretty much gone. We don't have no clue who the Summer Maiden is, or even where is she. No clue. So we still have to figure out that. RWBY needs to figure out the Silver Eyes shit, because she still needs to train for that. Then you have Salem and Grimm. It's just the issues that, and then you had the brothers and shit. Yo, RWBY adds a lot of lore, but they never fucking expand on the lore. And I just think the issue is, I think the issue for RWBY is that they add shit in, but they never fucking flesh it out or explore these things, man. It's just awful, man.